Well, hey, everybody, welcome back to yet another cool episode of Social Media Success for Professionals. Yo, I got a really jammer for you today. I have my very good friend, Venus Hawbaker from Commonwealth Printing and Promotions. She is the project manager there. And I asked Venus to come on to talk to us about the cool life and world of promotional products. Look, I used to work in promotional products, Venus, and I had the time of my life slapping logos on stuff. So I'm so thrilled that you're here to talk about it and how important it is for our businesses and promoting ourselves. So Venus, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me today.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about what you do at Commonwealth and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Venus Hawbaker. I was originally from Portland, Oregon. I have lived in a variety of states and started out in the legal field and bar industry, brewery consulting, insurance for a hot minute. And then I've been in Harrisburg for about 15 years now. All of those experiences kind of came together when I figured out that everything I was doing in those realms was actually marketing. And I just didn't quite have that label at the time. So I've been really fortunate to hook up with a great woman, Gwen Robbins. She's the owner of Commonwealth Printing and Promotions, and been with her for almost 2 years now, just working on small businesses, and nonprofits are my specialty, and helping them grow and expand, their bandwidth locally while shoestring budget, with those environments. And that's kind of where branded products shine, is that you can get a lot for your money for it in a way that you can't necessarily with online advertising, radio, and such.
Yeah, well, and that's what we're going to talk about because, in the world of digital, how do we leverage these other cost-effective ways to stand out? And so promotional products are it, man. I'm looking at my desk right here and I'm looking at all the pens.
Yep.
Mid-Pen Bank, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at all the pens, that I have, or even koozie or not koozies, but
coasters.
Yeah, coasters and koozies and I have a Boneshire Brewworks thing here that I keep my pens in. So, talk to us about these things and how we can leverage promotional products.
The most important thing I would have to say with branded promotional products is that you need to think about the why you're giving it. 90% of people remember the brand on the promo item you give them.
Wow.
For better or for worse. And that's a huge number. 90% is bonkers when you think about how many branded items we as consumers are receiving. It has a really lasting impact. So you want to make sure that this isn't just a pen of, a 10-cent pen you're clicking and it's getting thrown away. You want to be really mindful and thoughtful about why you're giving this product, why you're giving this person this gift, and what it says about you in that process. So that you can tailor that in a way that is more challenging to do with other marketing materials. So if somebody is trying to court future clients, that's a very different gift than you would give your staff. It's a very different gift than you would give a current client that you want to either show appreciation to or have them upgrade their services with you. You can be much more intentional and show your clients that you really know them and you really are able to provide the personalized service product because you understand their needs. You can do that just so much more with a branded item than you can with an ad that's just scrolling down your phone.
100%. You can't get that personal. And chances are, with the digital ad, they may or may not see it. Plus, you're at the what's the word I'm looking for? Mercy, I guess, of the person with the device in their hand. But if you give them a pen or
you're using it.
Yeah.
You're using it, or even something, if you think about not just the person that you're handing it to, it's all the impressions past that. So for example, a tote bag, so many of us bring our tote bags to the grocery store. That person who's putting their groceries in it, maybe they've become brand blind to what's on there. But those hundreds of people, they just walked past the grocery store with all of that brand. That's a new impression for you. So your ad is expanding constantly. And then we're also in a sharing world. If someone has family, they have friends, you're going to send them home with a tote bag with that leftover Tupperware. You're going to share these things with them. Those are all new impressions. And maybe, say you're a mortgage lender and someone is like all of a sudden going, I don't know what to do, but I've had this bag clip that my friend gave me for 1,000 years. It's a starting point for them. So you're reaching people you don't even know that you're reaching when you're working with branded products specifically, which is just astronomical in comparison to, again, to keep going back to the phone, that's a one time if they're paying attention. So you just have more odds of being seen and your brand being acknowledged out in the world.
Wow. I love that so much. So you have more odds of being seen and that ripple effect of, who you know. So that's
Exactly.
amazing for promotional products. So then as a professional service provider, what should we be looking at these days? I know tech is hot, of course you can go back to a pen. A pen is never bad.
Right.
What should we be looking at these days? What would make us stand out?
I really like to think about solving a problem when you give something to somebody. So, at the end of the day, we're all in the people business. We are all trying to help someone feel heard, safe, and valued, no matter what service we're providing or what item we are selling. So I like to solve problems, which is why I love battery banks. I love something as silly as a clip-on selfie ring light. I mean,
yes,
we're all in these Zoom meetings now, and something that simple that can make you feel and look your best goes a really long way. And it's also a strong possibility that their kid in the house is going to steal it at some point too, and keep that moving.
Yeah.
I would really just, tech always is going to be great, but I think if you put yourself in that person's shoes, for example, we went to a leadership event, you receive, and giving a pen sometimes seems lackluster, but in that scenario where you're going to be expected to take notes, that pen was valuable, and that it had a stylus nub was helpful for me on my phone. So if you want to just put yourself in the position of how can I solve a problem for them, and you're going to connect emotionally. They're going to feel taken care of by you, even though you're not there. And that's really the biggest thing you can do with a branded item, I think.
Yeah, I love that. Be the concierge, take care of your people, right? That'll go a really, really, really long way.
Exactly. And then there's just, a lot of silly goose things you can get now.
Like?
You can get branded pizza ovens. You can create wine coolers, cigar humidifiers. You can go really old school and go classic watches.
Wow.
The world is very literally your oyster. I have people who will take pictures of someone's lunch bag, text it to me, can we get this? Yes. So don't be limited by what you think of branded products. Think about what item you like, and then we can find a way to put your brand on it.
Yeah.
So work it backwards. It's beyond Post-it notes. It's beyond note bags. It's so much greater than that. Than most people realize anymore.
Yeah, it's not your mom's promotional products game anymore. We can go
Exactly.
beyond the plastic cup or the modest pen. So you talked about some high-end stuff. So let's talk about that, because we have listeners that have budgets all over the place. So of course you can hang with pens, you can hang with coasters, you can hang with koozies, but there are also, luxury items. Tell us about that.
It's interesting. We do a lot of crystal awards and things like that. And these your brand is everywhere. So even a big area rug, say in a bank lobby, things like that, things that, to just let someone know that you're entering a very specific space and that you're being very intentional with that.
Yeah.
What we do luxury things, and we've done this for a client recently who was trying to show their top 10% clients, I know you and I appreciate you and I understand you.
Yeah.
And we did a giant smoker, which I found was hilarious. Wow. Yeah, the electric pizza oven. It's incredible the things that can be done. And I really even silly things like your canopies at events, those tall, you know, it all pops and it all makes a really big difference. And people kind of shy away from that stuff because it is a high dollar item.
Yeah.
And it's a one-time purchase. But I would always just really encourage people to remember it's not that one interaction, it's the ongoing interactions.
Yes.
So that, for example, that smoker, that was $600. You can think, well, that was kind of silly. But every time someone goes to that person's house, they're going to be like, look what I got. This is amazing.
Yes.
And they are going to hype the services because they are genuinely excited and like blown away that happened.
Yeah.
And it's really neat that we can create these one-of things. It doesn't also have to be the thousands. You don't need to get, 10,000 mugs. We can get 10. We can get one-ofs. The world has become much more accommodating to small businesses, and which means you can do really highly personalized things, which is especially lovely, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. The more personalized you can get, the bigger the reaction, right? The bigger the impression. And that's exactly what we're making. Impressions on the promo product, impressions on the people, right? That's what we're doing.
Yes, exactly.
How about, I got 2 more questions for you. This is so good, by the way. Thank you so much. Like I love talking about promo products. They're so much fun. When I was getting in the game, right, this whole setup, art, what are some mistakes that if we're just getting into promo products, what are some mistakes that we might, or we're like, wait, what do you mean this setup thing? How about, mistakes, timing, and setup? What about that?
The first thing I would say is if you're starting your business currently, be very mindful of your colors and your logo, gradients, shading. You're paying, generally speaking, per color. Mm-hmm. So even though it just looks like a shadow, it's not. It's an additional color. So being mindful of that, being mindful of how your logo is going to look on a variety of backgrounds. So you can be on banners, you can be more things. And also understanding things like setup fees, that can be very challenging. So like a setup fee would be, this pen, it has our logo on it. We bought 1,000 of them, but we had to pay $60 for them to make, the screen printing for this. Being mindful of that and like going back to this person, you get a discount on your next setup fees. So thinking longer term, really think about the pen you want and see, can I save myself on shipping? Can I order 1,000 of these pens instead of 200 every 3 months? Oh. You can be nickeled and dimed if you're not mindful of what you're doing. And that's also the important part of hooking up with a promo professional that you feel safe and transparent with, because it can be, they've even started things like charging for digital proofs, which is bonkers. Gosh. Yep. It's like an ongoing battle of what warehouses are doing. So you just want to have someone who is like on your side and is going to take care of that type of stuff for you. It can be very
like Commonwealth Printing and Promotions, just
for example.
For example. Okay. Final question.
Yes.
I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm a consultant. We have an agency. We do a lot of online webinars. We do a lot of training that way. So what do you think would be good? And I've had this also being in other masterminds and training. We get a piece of lumpy mail before the training. Yeah. So as a coach, as a consultant, for me, that was really, it primed the pump for a great webinar or a great experience online. Mm-hmm. What do you think we could do with promotional products and sending it to, to prime the pump?
I really love, again, tying it into whatever your class is about. For example, if this is going to be a webinar situation, like we talked about the selfie ring, just something very small that helps them engage more. I even love, there are these notebooks that I absolutely love, and they open, and I'm so sorry, I don't have a sample to show you, but they open, it's just a regular notepad, but then it has a prop for you to prop your cell phone up so that you can watch this training while you're taking notes very conveniently and hands-free. I think that as we move to more digital, being mindful of note-taking while having our products, our phones, our tablets, is always met with extreme surprise and appreciativeness. I've received emails where people are like, that made it so much nicer for me.
Wow.
And to get that immediate response without even getting into the content of your training is really spectacular, I think.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, did we leave anything on the table? Are we forgetting anything from our talk today?
There's always more.
Yeah, right.
But I would just say being really aware of why you're giving this gift to either future current clients, and understanding that you're trying to solve a problem for them, not just wow them. So your service can just keep continually coming through for them. And that is what's going to wow them long term.
Yeah. Wonderful. Venus, you have given us a masterclass in how to delight, awe, inspire our audience, and get those impressions that we want to make, right? Put that great impression out there and then get that impression in return. So Venus, how do we work with you, sister?
You are welcome to email me, venus.hawbaker@gmail.com. Our website is www.printandpromo.net. And I am always delighted just to give a quote to someone to show what we have available. It's a wild world out there. So I am happy to show you whatever I can at any point.
Fantastic. Printandpromo.net. Make sure to get with Venus, email her. She will give you a ton of ideas to make that great impression. And I know, Venus, we're going to be working here together over the summer, and that's exciting too. So I can't wait to put my order in for my promotion. And I'm looking at this pen that I received at a women's leadership conference, and I'm like, I kind of dig that pen. I like how it writes.
We did that pen.
I know you did. And I'm going to need this in matte black. So I'm putting my order in. So there you go. Printandpromo.net. Venus Hawbaker, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your expertise. I know there was a ton of value to take away today. So thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Cool. I'm Heather Holloway, and you've been listening to Social Media Success for Professionals. Thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me and my team. Hey, remember, check the show notes for resources and links to other episodes, and don't forget to hit that subscribe and follow button to be notified when new episodes are released.